Okay, welcome to another computer and video game look at. Basically, I just read a magazine and talk, and that is basically what I do here. So this week I'm taking a look at a cult magazine for the Commodore Amiga, Amiga Power. This particular issue is that May 1992. So what have we got on the front cover? We've got two discs, WizKid and Sensible Soccer. Never really got WizKid, never really got into it. I think it was a game, considering how popular Sensible Software were. That WizKid, it kind of went under the radar, which is a shame because I believe it is quite a good game. Pinball Dreams, classic pinball game. Mad Bomber, don't remember that one. Campaign and Hook Slideshow. And we rate the 100 best games ever. So it's a 30-page feature. The Hidden Agenda, uncover hidden secrets in your games, complete shoot 'em up buyer guide, and much more. So that was issue 13. So if this was May 92, it'd mean that Amiga Power must have came out April 1991, something like that. Anyway, let's take a look inside. Right, okay, let's have a wee look and see what we've got. Miss this and you will never, you will regret it forever. Epic. I don't think it quite was epic. I think it came on, it was about 4 discs or something. I certainly never got into it at all. But yeah, the game's graphics and presentation are nothing short of stunning, and there's a great wad of playability up there too. Ocean have never had it so good, says ST Action. The all-time top 100 games, 1992. This month Amiga Power is a year old, 2 weeks before that historic first issue hit newsagent shelves up and down the country. However, a teaser version went out with the May issue of our sister magazine Amiga format. Is that right? I don't remember that actually. Excuse me. I've got to apologise about the quality. The quality of this PDF isn't the greatest, so if it's looking a wee bit blurred, it's because the actual PDF itself isn't the greatest. But you know what? I've got every respect for people that have actually sat and manually scanned these things. I mean, I don't know how they manage it, but it's brilliant that somebody's actually taking time to do these things so that we can then enjoy these magazines, you know, sort of 30 years later. So let's see, what's this? The Amiga all-time power top 100. In 100, we're not going to look at every single 100, we'd be there all day. 100th position, Golden Axe. Did I play Golden Axe in the Amiga? I think I did, but I was never a massive fan of it. Covert Action. Nah, I don't remember that one. Monkey Business, that's another one I don't remember anything about. 97, Fantasy World Dizzy. Never a Dizzy fan at all, never ever a Dizzy fan. Right, kicking things off, what have we got here? Epic by Ocean. I remember thinking that was a kind of multi-disc effort game, but I was never really a fan of these games. I never had the patience or the skill to play them. The game's graphics and presentation are nothing short of stunning, says ST Action. Yes, it's back to all-time top 100 games, 1992. This month Amiga Power is a year old, 2 weeks before that historic first issue hit newsagent shelves up and down the country. However, a teaser version went out with the May issue of our sister magazine, Amiga format. I never actually realised that Amiga Power and Amiga format were actually from the same stable, and I don't remember the teaser Amiga Power. It was 30 years ago, so, you know, cut me some slack. I can't remember what I had for my tea last night, never mind what came out 30 years ago. Right, the Amiga Power all-time top 100. 100th place, Golden Axe. I think I played it on the Amiga, but I was never a big fan of the game. Even the arcade one. I don't know, it's, you know, you've heard the phrase fur coat and nae knickers. Basically it's all about the graphics. the gameplay is very, very basic, and I always find the same, even with things like Final Fight as well. I'm not a big fan of these games. Covert Action, don't remember that one. 98, Monster Business, don't remember that one. 97, Fantasy World, Dizzy. Never been a fan of the Dizzy games. I always think of them as kind of Spectrum games. I mean, loved Oliver Twins, they're two brilliant guys, they're really passionate about the scene even now, but I wasn't a fan of their games. I never really played them, to be fair. So, Photon Storm. Ah, right, was that a Jeff Miller game? Yeah, from the man who brought you Lamatron comes another Butch Blaster. Only this time there's not a llama in sight. You know, I'll need to actually check that game out. I don't actually. I've heard the name of it, but I didn't realise it was a Jeff Miller game. There you go. Deuteros by Activision. Never heard of that one. Carve Up. Oh, that was kind of similar to. Oh, there's a game in the arcades that was similar to Carve Up. Supercars 2. Again, I never really played Supercars. I mean, I love that style of game, but I never really played any Supercar games. Not for any length of time. Super Hang On, that was a good conversion. That was an amazing game. Volified, which is kind of the sequel to Quicks. Kid Gloves. Again, that was a game. It was a very, very basic looking game, but it was meant to be really good fun. Tower of Babel, don't remember that one. Pro Tennis Tour, I did play that one quite a lot. It was you didn't actually control the movement of the player, but you controlled the shots. It was all about what shot you were going to play. You know, it seems very basic now when you compare it to like sort of virtua tennis, whatever. Amiga Power, Scooby and Scrappy doing that. Powermonger, never really played that again. Never really got into the strategy games. Scooby and Scrappy Doo. Now Hero Quest, that was a game, I liked that. I didn't think I would enjoy a game like that, but it's actually good. And I also played the sequel, was it Space Crusade? Actually quite good fun. Spot, I think, was basically Othello. Yeah, Final Fight, again, it's all frills and very little gameplay. I expect a few down thumbs for that. I mean, I understand it's a cult game. It's a game that people remember fondly, but I just think these games are a wee bit too basic for my liking. Though saying that, I like to shoot things, so what do I know? Project X, probably one of the hardest games ever. Carrier Command, again, it's another amazing looking game, but it's just one that I never really played. Plotting puzzle game, played it a couple of times. Indianapolis 500, and that was quite an impressive game. It was a very early Amiga game, but it was pretty impressive. I think if I remember rightly, I used to drive deliberately around the wrong way in the track and cause as much mayhem as possible. Spin Dizzy Worlds, I played the original Spin Dizzy on the C64, but never played that one. The Sentinel, an amazing game. I did play that for quite a bit. Incredible game. It's never been matched. I mean, there's never been a new version that released at all, and I think it would be one that would be worthwhile. It'd probably be quite playable on tablets as well. E-Motion, yeah, I remember it was all about this sort of the kind of rendered balls. You know, that was one of the big sort of selling points of the game, but probably too complicated for my limited brain. Now, I love this Rugby World Cup. It was the most basic rugby game you could possibly get. It was an arcade game. It was, if you ever played Tekken World Cup, which was an arcade game and you actually used a trackball, it was basically Tekken World Cup but rugby. Very simple but quite good fun. Storm Master, don't remember that one. Manchester Europe, I bought that game and it was, graphically wise, it was nice, but it was just a bit shite. Robocop 3, again, another one that I never really played, but that was another multi-disc game. F-29 Retaliator, again, it was one that it got good reviews at the time, but I was never into flight simulators. I'm sitting here thinking, you know, as I'm making all these comments, I'm sitting here thinking, what games did I actually play in my Amiga? Seriously. Very few, I have to say. I mean, it's stuff like, you know, Alien Breed, arcade kind of games, Sensei Soccer. I mean, I lost so much of my life to Sensei Soccer. there was plenty of games that I played, but I tended to kind of stick to the same games, so there was lots of games that I never really played. I mean, New Zealand Story, loved that, amazing conversion. What was that there? 5 game pack, $24.99. Thunderhawk, yeah, again that was core design, that was another good game. Indiana Jones, again, it's an adventure game, not one that I really enjoyed, but again it got great reviews. F-18 Interceptor, I loved that game. I loved it just because it looked amazing. It was a game that I used to show people to basically show off how good my Amiga was. It looked amazing. Pacific Island, never really played that. Silent Service, I played the original on the Commodore 64, but apart from that, never played it on the Amiga. There's Space Crusade, that was a great game. I did play that quite a lot. Gods, played it quite a bit. It was pretty hard actually, but it looked amazing. Even now it still looks amazing. Shanghai, that was a game that I played a lot. Yep, Activision. It's really addictive. It's the only sort of Mahjong type game that I've ever really got into. I've never really played them since. Toki, that is a great game. Really good. It's a kind of virtually unknown arcade game as well, but it's wonderful. Leander, I remember that, it looked nice. Didn't really play it too much. Paradroid, I always thought that game was better on the C64. It was the original platform, system it came out on, so I always preferred the C64 one. Super Twintris, Puzznic, yeah. Cruise for a Corpse, another strategy game which I never really got into. My Namesake, Ivan Iron Man Stewart's Super Off-Road. I think I played that a couple of times. I mean, as much as I loved Super Sprint, I never really played that one that much. There's a game that took up half my life back in the 90s, the wonderful Sensible Soccer, with Rude Hullet on the cover there. Music by Captain Sensible. Brilliant game, it really is. Microprose Golf, I played that a lot as well. I mean, there was PGA Golf and there was Microprose Golf. Now PGA Golf looked nicer. Microprose Golf had the 3D engine, so it looked basic, but I loved it. I loved it felt real, you got hills and that kind of stuff. It felt real. I lost a lot of time in that game. Clax, not a fan of it. Heimdall, again, I wasn't a big fan of it, but it was super impressive. That particular level was a Games Master challenge, and it was Eric Bristow who played that, and I don't think he actually did it. Realms, no, wait a minute, I was going to say, I thought that was Sensible Soccer there for a second. Realms, don't remember that one. Chuck Rock, yeah, it was pretty good. Kickoff, I played the original Kickoff a lot. Kickoff was the first really good football game on the 16-bit. Then it was Sensible Soccer came along and it just stole its thunder, and then they brought out Super Kickoff. Was it Kickoff 2, I think it was, but I loved the original Kickoff, but when Sensei Soccer came along, I never really went back to Kickoff again. But that was I would definitely say that Kickoff was responsible for Sensei Soccer. Sensible Software might argue that wasn't the case, but the first one was a great game. Played it a lot. Lamatron, I did do a video of that fairly recently. That is a absolutely brilliant take on Robotron. Lotus Turbo 2 Challenge, I'm surprised that's down as far, only 42, position 42. By the legend that is Sean Southern. R-Type 2, I don't remember actually playing R-Type 2 on Amiga. I don't know when it came out. I never actually remember that. I played the original on Amiga, which is a great game. Virus, technically it's impressive, but I just couldn't get to grips with it. I had to use the mouse if I recall. International Karate Plus looks amazing. I mean, yeah, it's Archer McLean classic. Vroom, I remember getting that. I actually got a pirate copy of that game, but it was brilliant. It was like super fast. It was basically, it was what pole position would have been, had it came out in Amiga. It was really fast, really arcadey. Swiv, it's as much as I love shoot 'em ups, it felt slightly jerky, slightly laggy. It almost felt that they were trying to do slightly too much. One thing that annoyed me about Swiv, they insisted in putting shadows. I mean, you can just very, very briefly see the bottom of the shadow on that helicopter, and I just felt it made it quite difficult, because sometimes when there's so much coming down the screen at you, it wasn't always easy to ascertain, is that the shadow or is that what am I shooting here? So I wasn't a big fan of Swiv, I have to say, which is surprising considering how much I love shoot 'em ups. Bubble Bobble, yeah, I did play that quite a lot. It's a game you really have to play with somebody. You know, playing it on your own just doesn't really feel right. Nebulous, one of the most difficult games ever. It's just incredibly difficult. But I did put a lot of time into it, and I think I got off the first level a couple of times, and that was about it. Asteroids Public Domain, do I remember that? I think I did. Yeah, I remember thinking how impressive this was. It even had the Atari logo. I wonder if this is actually... Can you Adam and Eve a conversion of Atari's 1979? I wonder if this was kind of an emulator, or if it was just a very, very, very good conversion. I'm thinking it's probably the latter, actually. But yeah, it was a really good version of Asteroids. Head Over Heels, don't think I ever really played that. Switchblade 2, an amazing game, really arcadey. It looked like it was a game that belonged on the Mega Drive. So, you know, being an Amiga owner, it was great to have something that looked just as good. Rodland, absolutely fantastic game, brilliant game. I played it all the time. My daughter and I mean, we played the arcade one in MAME a lot, but I would say that Rodland is probably, it's an even better conversion than, or it's a better version than the arcade. The arcade one had a few problems with slowdown, but this one doesn't. So yeah, Rodland is an awesome game. GMX, yeah, it was quite a strange game to see in the Amiga. I mean, it was very manga, not a game you expect to see. You know, looking at it now, these games are so popular on obviously iPhones and touch tablets and what have you. But yeah, back in 1992, it was quite an original game. There's another game that took up a lot of my time, the mighty Stunt Car Racer. I would love to see a new version of that. You know, don't add features to it, just make a remake of the, you know, call it an HD remake of the original. I would 100% buy it. It was just a great game. Pang, did play it, I'm not a massive fan of it. Yeah, Stunt Car Racer. Celtic Legends, don't remember that one, by Ubisoft and that. The Blues Brothers, I bought that and I was quite disappointed. I mean, I love the Blues Brothers film, and you know, what could be better an arcade platform with the Blues Brothers. It was alright. I maybe didn't play it that much, to be fair, but now there is a absolutely stonking shoot 'em up Apidia, which is basically, how could you describe it, R-Type but with insects. It's a phenomenal game. It really is. The sound, the music, the graphics is completely different from anything you've seen before. Well, apart from it looks like R-Type. But yeah, insects and bees and slugs and butterflies and wasps and you name it, it's there. But yeah, it's a brilliant game. Hunter, I remember getting it and thinking, wow, this is amazing, and then getting bored quite quickly. I mean, it was quite a sort of a revolutionary game when it came out, 3D graphics, kind of sandboxy type game. But I didn't really play it that much. John Madden Football. My mate had the Mega Drive and he got John Madden Football, and I just thought this was incredible. And then I was delighted when I heard it was coming out for the Amiga, and it came out in, I think it was a couple of discs, but controlling it with a joystick just wasn't the same as using, you know, the 3-button Mega Drive controller. So I never really felt, I didn't enjoy it as much on the Amiga as I did on the Mega Drive. But you know, it looked, I think actually graphically it probably looked slightly better with nicer colours and that, but always preferred the Mega Drive one. Titus the Fox, yeah, I remember that. That's when, I mean, there was just a plethora of platform games. They were trying to get an Amiga Sonic or an Amiga Mario. You know, they were bringing out all these different characters. You had Zool, James Pond, you know, Titus the Fox, but none of them really kind of caught on. There was just too many of them. Parasol Stars, I never played it. I had a copy of it, just never played it, don't know why. There's Special Reserve. Now that was the company that Dave, the game's Animal Perry, worked for before he got his sort of start in TV. Never actually joined it, but yeah, I mean, I think you paid so much money, you paid an annual membership, and then you got games for, you know, basically cheaper prices. But I never actually joined it. There you go, the Commodore CDTV for only £499. Bloody hell. The Philips monitor, 229 quid. The Bubblejet printer, 250 quid. That's insane. Okay, hands up, who had lots of these boxes with lots of discs with pen written labels? Excuse me. Yeah, I can't believe that though. I mean, the price of these things. 250 quid for a printer. The best of all is I've bought one as well, you know. But yes, anyway, where are we now? Up to 21 F-15 Strike Eagle 2. Again, a flight simulator, not really my cup of tea, but I think it kind of reviewed pretty well. Eye of the Beholder, another kind of dungeon master type game. I think it was probably a bit deeper than Dungeon Master, and it was, well, it came out after it. Ultima 6, never played that. Another World, a fantastic game. Still play it even now. It's a great game, and I've still never completed it. I can get to the, is it the 3rd level, I think it is, but never actually completed it. I don't know what that is. PGA Golf Tour, yeah, we did play that quite a lot, but my golf game of choice was Microprose Soccer, Microprose Golf even. First Samurai, brilliant game, really good, graphics, sound, absolutely nailed it. Played this one as well a lot. Dynablaster Bomberman, great game, still play Bomberman a lot. I mean, it's out in so many systems, but brilliant. Is that the name of the company? Amiga. Oh, right, okay, it's a plain words. Amiga prices for right, okay, very good. Prince of Persia, yeah, I had that. Nice graphics. I wasn't overly keen on it. Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker, I did play that a lot. It was very difficult, but you know, being a big pool fan back in the day, it was, to get a game like this in 3D, it just looked incredible. Lemmings, well, I played a lot of that as well. Brilliant game. Knights of the Sky, yeah, again, our flight simulator wasn't one that I played. Although I did play it sometimes because it was quite simple to play, because you were basically piloting simple planes. They had guns, they didn't have radars and flares and, you know, wheels that went up and down. It was just really a fire button. So I did play it a wee bit, not too much. Megalomania, again, it was an impressive game, but I never really got into it. Populous 2, I did play it a fair bit. I preferred that to the first one. It had a lot more kind of nice effects. SimCity, I tried it briefly, but I found it quite dull. Secret of Monkey Island, I never ever got into it. Again, it's an adventure game. Well, there you go, it was voted the 4th best game, Amiga game of all time. Never really got into it at all. Excel, which I think was a conversion of the BBC game. Okay. Wait a minute. Am I missing something here? That's number 7. Number 4. So number 3 was Speedball. Considering how much I loved sort of computer sport games, again, it didn't gel with me as much. I mean, it's a remarkable game. It looks amazing, sounds great. Again, it wasn't one I really got into too much. Formula 1 Grand Prix, loved it. It's even better playing it now because I've got an accelerator board in my Amiga and it plays so much better. But an absolutely astonishing game for its time, you know. The fact that Jeff Crammond could fit it on, like, was it 4 discs? Just amazing. Number 1, Rainbow Islands. Never liked the game. Never ever liked the game. Even the arcade one, never liked it. Now, did I miss something? Did I miss Sensible Soccer? Now, we saw an advert for Sensible Soccer, so I'm wondering if the game hadn't really been reviewed, so that's why it didn't appear. I'm thinking that's possibly the reason. It better be, because Sensible Soccer would absolutely be my my favourite Amiga game of all time. So yeah, there you go, there you have it. The official Amiga Power 100. Right, who have we got here? What's this? On the other hand, not everyone agrees with us like these guys. Andrew Wright is a marketing manager at Virgin Games. Peter Molyneux, well, he had hair. And before everybody hated his guts. Mev Dink, that's right, he was one of the vivid imagery at Last Samurai. Andrew Beveridge, I don't remember him. Richard Darling. Hey, there's Gary Bracey. I interviewed him, what, about 3-4 months ago. Really nice guy. John Hare as well. Eric Matthews, one of the Bitmap brothers. Steve Turner, Andrew Braybrook. Fergus McGovern, Probe, Dominic Wheatley, I remember his name. So yeah, there we go. Right, what is this? Is this now us getting into the actual meat and bones of the magazine? Possibly, that may have been an extra pull-out, I don't really know actually. Right, what have we got here? Project X, Castles, Ultima 2, Apidia. Oh, we've got a review of Apidia, let's see what they make of it. And of course, with magazines like this, part of the reason you bought these games, magazines, was to get the discs, which sometimes had full games, especially towards the end of the life of the Amiga, but you know, invariably, there we go. Yeah, you're getting demos now. They gave away a demo for Sensible Soccer. Now, I played that. That was when everything changed for me. Me and my mate played the demo non-stop, and I could not wait to get it. So that's why it doesn't appear in the top 100. But yeah, we all bought the magazines for the discs, and the problem was you would end up buying 3 or 4 magazines at like £5 a pop just because you wanted the discs. WizKid, that's a game that I've never really played too much. I should really make a point of trying to play it. It's one of these games I don't think it's sold well at all. Which was quite surprising when you consider just how big Sensible Software were. I think it was possibly slightly too left field for a lot of people. But yeah, Sensi's Soccer, it was and still is an amazing game. Pinball Dreams, loved the pinball games as well. Ian Botham's Cricket, no thank you. I never understand cricket, just don't do cricket at all. I think it's only the English that get cricket. Being a Scot, we don't do it at all. Action Replay Mark III, how much was that? $59.99. Never actually had any cartridges for the Amiga like that. Win a Pacific Islands baseball cap. Oh, how generous. Zool Station, the best console style game yet. Oh no, yet another platform game from Gremlin. We don't know about you, but we're getting a bit sick of the way these software houses are content to just churn out rewrite after rewrite of one successful game. Where's imagination? No, here it is, Zool. I don't think Zool really lived up to the hype. Yeah, it looks nice, but a lot of it was just fancy background graphics. I did play it quite a bit, and I tried to convince myself that it was as good as, like, you know, Super Mario or Sonic the Hedgehog, but it wasn't. There was no getting away from it. It just wasn't. That's good. John Barnes Soccer. There were so many of these side-on scrolling football games, and they were pretty pants, to be honest with you. New software house. It's not so often that a major software house comes along. Blah 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 blah. Mirage. I kind of remember them. Superhumans, and that was kind of a Lemmings game. Yeah, there we go. It was, you know, Lemmings was a fantastic idea, and then of course all these other games kind of followed suit. Darkseid, I loved that game. Me and my mate, we played that a lot. Again, we never completed it. We got really far in the game. I mean, graphically, yeah, it was quite a jerky game. It was, you know, technically it wasn't that good, but the sound, and it was kind of like, it almost felt like a survival horror game. It felt like you were playing an adult game, and obviously you had the kind of Geiger graphics, which were just really mind-blowing for the time. What's this? Looks familiar, anyone? No. Here's a yummy sneak preview of the 2-player mode in Core's Jaguar XJ220. I like that game quite a bit. Amiga Power on telly. Well, sort of what happened is that BBC are producing a book called Writing in Style to accompany a series of school television programmes titled English Time. I can't think why I didn't watch that. What's this? Amiga Power recommends Paris All Stars, no thank you. Pinball Dreams, yep, good game. Vroom, great game. Dino Blaster, another great game. Super Off-Road and Titus of Fox. So the best selling game at that point was First Division Manager. Again, I wasn't a football manager type person. The last football manager game that I enjoyed was the original Football Manager by Addictive Games. Formula 1 Grand Prix. Scooby and Scrappy Doo, that was a budget game, $7.99. That's what I kind of laugh at. People moan about the price of a game. You know, oh, it's $1.99 on your iPad. You know, back in 1992, we were paying £7.99 for a budget game. Harlequin, I liked that as well. That was the Gremlin graphics. Alcatraz. What was this by Infogrames? Did they not make a game? They made a game, you were like the SAS, which was pretty good. I don't remember playing Alcatraz, I must admit. Right, let's see if I remember any of the writers. Martin Beelby, I remember him. Neil West, yeah, he was on, I think he used to appear in Games Master quite a lot. Don't remember this guy. Jonathan Davis, name is familiar. Matthew Squires, don't remember him. Stuart Campbell, yep, he's still out there doing stuff. I'm actually trying to arrange an interview with him. He did say that he would do it at some point, but he's got a lot of stuff on at the moment. There's Gary Penn, Carol Foster, don't remember him. Amanda Cook, no. Dave Golder, no. Rich Pelly, yeah, I remember the name. Sally Meddings, don't remember her. Apidia, Elvira, never really got that myself. Project X, yeah, one of the toughest games ever. Now what's it saying here? Project X is nearly brilliant. I just want to see. So what is Stuart saying here? Project X isn't short on good points. You can select one of 3 ships of differing characteristics for your mission, allowing you to tailor your tactics. Let's have a wee look. Does it say? I just want to see the speech samples are atmospheric and helpful. The graphics are stunning. Team 17 have listened admirably to criticism of their earlier alien breed, which said it was too easy to complete. Unfortunately, they've gone hunting off in the opposite direction and made a game that is only a superhuman is going to see the end of, or even the second half of. Project X doesn't even apparently have a cheat mode, so unless you're the kind of person who found R-Type 2 just too easy, forget about this. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't just me then. It was just blindingly difficult. Castles, don't remember that one. 58%. That's the thing though, if you looked at a review and it got really piss poor, then you wouldn't even bother about it. Ultima 6, never a fan of these type of games. Dino Blaster. Apidia, yeah, there's a game I was telling you about. It's quite bizarre because it's got this sort of intro and it's all about, you know, it's anime and princesses and whatever. But yeah, you've got wasps, what do you call them? Ladybirds, bugs, beetles, you name it. Even moles. How did they get? 89%. Yeah, there we go. Gross out sickness and a big shoot 'em up way. A wonderfully satisfying blast the best in years. Forget the rest of the new wave of shoot 'em ups, and yes, that includes Project X and Agony, both reviews in this very issue. The shoot 'em up renaissance starts here. Totally agree. There's a fag packet. What other game are you going to get that? Right, why is that? I don't know why that's like that. Global effect. It's gone. Well, no, that must have been the way they published it. Bit strange why they do that. Is it just so they could fit this screenshot in? Never played that one. What's this? Space Quest. Again, never played that. Is that a kind of point and clicky type? 19%. It's hard to imagine even real adventurer buffs enjoying this much. It's a very old fashioned and has an air of tiredness about it to avoid. So that's why I never played it. Race driving. Is this any good? 72%. I think this was the sequel. There we go, after the homegrown unofficial sequel, yeah, so this is an unofficial one. Certainly the original game was pretty god awful. Agony, now it's a game that it looks amazing. The music in the game is amazing. It's got all, I mean, it's a Psygnosis game, it looks fantastic, sounds fantastic, and it's pretty good. It is pretty good, but it's just not as good as Apidia. Yeah, I mean, it had stunning looking graphics. You play the animation of the owl that you play is amazing. So what's it saying here? Not the most demanding shoot 'em up ever, but relaxing and enjoyable enough to play that you'll stick with it even after you've finished it. Absolutely gorgeous graphics, absolutely lovely intro music, calming, addictive, rewarding gameplay, and you can trust it only to do what you tell it to control-wise. So yeah, it's exactly what I thought as well. Expand your Amiga, quality products at affordable prices. So you could stick an extra half a meg in for 28 quid with the clock. What's this? Cheat modes, complete control. Robocod. I liked Robocod, that was a good game. Single discer as well. So yeah, here we go. This is tips on Formula 1 Grand Prix. I never really got into the sort of the deep kind of, you know, change in aerodynamics and tyres and that. I just used to kind of put it on as a sort of arcade mode and just blast around the track. I was absolutely pants at it, but it was such an amazing game. Legend, don't remember that one. What's this? Win, try the console quiz. What are we going to win here? Yes, you could be stuffing yourself stupid with one of 10 piles of scrummy scoff. Huge big pile of sweets. The ultimate arcade game, you could win Terminator 2. Yeah, these kind of phone-in things were massive at the time. It's probably all online now, right enough, but yeah, they littered every magazine. Storm Master, one of the best of a flood of great French games. Storm Master is also one of the most complicated, which would be why I never actually played it. SimCity, again, yeah, it was, you know, it's not everybody's cup of tea. It wasn't my cup of tea, but you know, meant to be a good game. Stuck in a Rut, The Last Resort. Again, it's just tips. Amiga format. So yeah, I didn't realise. So they're both part of Future Publishing. The Hidden Agenda. There may be more to games than you know. Many hidden behind the scenes of many top Amiga releases are secret mini-games. Join Gary Penn for a guided tour of the very best of the Hidden Agenda. So what's he saying here? International Karate. Yeah, if you during the play type any of the following for amusing responses. Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker. Enter trick mode. At any time in the table, press the F7 key followed by the F4 key and finally the F1 key. A double click sound will be heard. Return to the control menu and access the demo mode. There should now be a third option. Do a random 147 break. Select it and sit back and watch the computer perform 147 breaks all day. Yeah, I used to do that. The thing is, it played impossible shots. Some of the shots, but it was like cutting a ball so fine right along the table. Absolutely impossible. Really amusing to watch, actually. You see, this is one thing about modern games that I don't like. I would like to be able to have cheat modes, because when you're paying 40-50 quid for a game, you want to be able to see all the levels. And right now you just don't get that. You get to a certain level, you can't get past it. There doesn't appear to be any way to cheat. You know, I just wish they would put cheat modes into games, put it in an option, you know, give you the option as the owner of the game to be able to do that, but unfortunately they don't know why. Degeneration, I think I remember that, kind of 3 sort of D, you were in a kind of building type thing. What's this, prizes for playing games, John Madden's sort of football, Birds of Prey. Amiga Shopper, what's this? Now the Amiga Shopper show might sound to you like a staid and serious event. Where was that about? Wembley Exhibition Centre, 14th to the 17th of May. Credit card hotline. Here's a view at Alcatraz, 73%. A320 Airbus. Amazing how many people enjoy playing flight simulators and, you know, stuff that's super realistic. Elvira 2, The Jaws of Cerberus. 33%. Horrible, foul, disgusting, frightening, and for all the wrong reasons. Its only redeeming feature is the fact that the designers have at least made the effort to try something new with this well-worn theme. Premier mail order. So let's have a look at how much were games. Adam's Family $16.99, Agony $24.99. Yeah, so games tended to be sort of, I don't know, between 15 to kind of £25, something like that. Brides of Dracula Gonzo games, $25.99. Pacific Islands, yeah, that was one of these kind of strategy games. Yeah, there was I mean, the Amiga had so many different game types. You know, and that's why I think a lot of people, certainly for myself, it's probably the best ever home computer. There was just so much for everybody. You know, there was always, I mean, I've spent, I don't know, half an hour reading through this magazine saying, didn't play that, didn't play that, didn't play that, didn't play that, but I love my Amiga. There were so many other games you could play for it. Excuse me. Vengeance of Excalibur. Cover Girl Poker. That was one of the first type of games to come out on the 16-bit. Suddenly we had computers that were capable of actually displaying real looking graphics. So the first thing that came out were strip poker games, and yeah, I put my hand up, I did play quite a lot of them. 6%. Cover Girl Poker, well, it's fairly well programmed, and at least it ought to teach sport readers how to play poker. Beyond that though, it stinks, and the in-game text messages from the stunners are I can't even pronounce it, hilarious. And why is there a message disclaiming any involvement or endorsement from the birds in the game? Is it using the images like this without permission? Yeah. E500 Plus compatible. Are you an E500 Plus owner or thinking of upgrading? Why risk software problems? Buy your public domain software from us. All checked for viruses and compatibility. Swift Computers, Middlesbrough. No, not Middlesbrough. Dunstable, Bedfordshire. Software Expressions. Is this actual proper games? Yeah, it is actually, yeah. Or is these just... they're just demos. So yeah, there were actually, even back then, there was people selling free software, you know, but that's, the thing is, the internet didn't exist, so, you know, unless you knew somebody that had them, the only way to get kind of public domain discs were to go to these little companies. Shadow of the Beast. I always thought that Shadow of the Beast was one of the most overrated games ever. Yeah, similar to Agony by Psygnosis. Amazing graphics, amazing sound, complete lack of any gameplay. And I think they're saying exactly the same. Good to look at, easy to control, but a limited number of lives and very seen it all before gameplay limit the appeal somewhat. Still, it's a landmark game. Yeah, it is a landmark game, but it's not a good game. Anarchy, I don't remember that one. Jetsons, cartoon, wouldn't have bothered with that. And Ninja Collection, Double Dragon was pretty goddamned awful on the Amiga. as was Dragon Ninja, although I did play that one a bit more. Ninja Warriors, don't remember that one. 50%. Untouchables, don't think I ever actually played that. That was a massive, massive game by Ocean. Robocop, yeah, did play it. Very, very difficult. How many programs can you get for £30? Answer, 30. Right, okay, it's public domain. What's this? Sex is just one of the subjects not covered in this month's 2 pages of PD reviews. Rock and roll, on the other hand, phew, you just can't get away from it. This is public domain reviews. Revenge of the Mutant Camels. Was this actually released by Lamatron? At last, the long-awaited sequel to the most widely known PD game ever, Lamatron, has arrived. At last, fans of the ancient 8-bit classic Revenge of the Mutant Camels can play the game in their posh 16-bit machines with those great gameplay features of old intact. I don't think I ever really played it. I don't even want to know what he's doing up there. Yeah, it just doesn't look. I would prefer sticking with the original Commodore 64 classic. Obliteration. Again, it's obviously a public domain game. Again, it's amazing just how many adverts are actually in these magazines. You tend to kind of forget that back in the day when you're looking at these magazines. But a JVC, you could win yourself a MIDI system, double cassette deck. The only problem is, you know, we'd all moved on to the 16-bit by that point. There's nothing like a bit of ecstasy with your agony, and that's why those wonderful, warm, caring human beings at Psygnosis are going to give one lucky Amiga Power reader this Fabaruni JVC MIDI stereo system. It's funny how back then it was all about the bigger the better, big speakers, you know, huge big system. Now you don't even, most people don't even have, you know, in fact I would probably say 99% of people don't have a music system in their house. It's just streaming music on their phone, you know. It's mental. Yeah, it's mental just how things have changed. Definition of sound. Don't shoot that thing at me. Shoot 'em ups, probably accounting for about one game in every 4 released. They come in a wide variety of shapes, colours and flavours. There's vertical scrolling ones like Xenon and Swiv, first person mass murder style game, Operation Wolf, Beast Busters, blah, blah, blah. What is that? R-Type 2? I don't think I ever played R-Type 2 in Amiga. I don't know what one that is. Necronome. Never heard of that one. Yeah, they're saying they're 1 in 4 games is a shoot 'em up. Nowadays, I would say blocky 1 in 20 is a shoot 'em up. I think things have just moved on a wee bit. Silkworm, that's another good game. Really good conversion Amiga, and yeah, the original R-Type in Amiga is just it's virtually arcade perfect. Look at that, that is insane. 52 meg. I think what takes up 52 meg in memory? Well, your average PlayStation 4 game is about 50 gig. That's 52 meg. That's just incredible. That is a hard drive. That was the actual capacity of the hard drive. 380 quid. Or if you want to really go push the boat for a 240 meg, £799. £799 for a 240 meg hard disk. And we complain about prices nowadays. Oh, you'd better buy Sega Power this month. Road Rash. You want vitriol? You've got it this month, and whose gripe is it anyway? We've got burning questions as Games Master crap or what? Computer video games crap or what? Oh, this is the letters page. What's it saying about Games Master? Let's see if we can find that later. Finally, I would like to comment on Games Master. I waited with bated breath for it to arrive, and when it did, my initial impressions were grim. They haven't improved. Perhaps it's just me. I find the whole show slightly patronising, if not stereotypical, On average, there are only 3 or 4 reviews in a half hour, which, considering the range the show attempts to cover, is useless. The tips section is unbelievably limp and completely console orientated, and as for the 3 game challenges, well, I suppose the idea of having a celebrity playing a game that in some way connected to his or her profession is quite a good idea, but honestly, some of the kids who attempted the challenges makes me cringe. Especially the boy who decided that to play well at Pro Tennis Tour, all he had to do was stand still and go psycho in the fire button. Hopefully that wee guy never read that later. Well, I think like most people, you know, I think Games Master was good. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but you know what? It's considering how few games programs we actually had, it was good. I don't think I ever wrote off to a magazine ever. I would like to see if I can recognise anyone. Alistair Sturrock from Stevenston. There's a chap from Canada. Total. Yeah, what was that? Total, the only magazine dedicated to Nintendo gamers, full of reviews and tips for the NES, Game Boy and Super NES. Always quite childish these games, these magazines, I felt. Yeah, and I know at the last few pages of this, they always had a kind of very brief review of all these games. So if you're going to buy a game, you could just turn to the back of the magazine and have a look. So it was quite a good idea. I mean, especially if you didn't actually have the magazine that they reviewed it in, you could just turn here and have a look. Got so many memories. Final Blow, I always thought that looked amazing. There's Cisco Heat up there as well. Hudson Hawk. Actually not a bad game, to be fair. The film was terrible, but Graham Souness's Vector Soccer. I don't know how. I'll need to do the complete history of football games, video football games. I would be literally run for a week. There must be so many football games. Just mental. Yeah, so yeah, that's the bottom line. I think we're kind of getting near the end of the magazine. We all want to know it all. Hold on to your hats, everyone. It's Amiga Power Reader Survey 1992. Alright, okay, so that was, we were supposed to fill that in. There we go, box of 10 discs, £4.60. You can get yourself the Amiga Cartoon Classics pack, including delivery, for 350 quid. Yeah, I don't remember there being quite as many adverts as there is now. Sorry, that makes no sense at all. I don't remember there being as many adverts back in the day, but when you look at it now, you realise there were a lot of adverts. And back issues. I don't know how much they were. Does it tell you? I don't think it does, actually. So when you subscribe, you get to pick, you get to pick one of these games. Oh no, more Lemmings, Celtic Legends or Robocod. All this for just £34.95. Terminator 2, that was a bloody dreadful game. Yeah, it looked amazing, great graphics, but just absolute garbage. Pacific Islands, yeah, we looked at that earlier on. And that is it. To finish off, we have a very minimalistic advert for the 8-bit, the Bitmap Brothers. So that is it, guys. That is Amiga Power. I hope you enjoyed listening to me prattle on. If there is a particular magazine you'd like to see me do this feature on, just stick your comment below. And finally, guys, thank you very much for watching.